I'm a bit nervous.
Why?
Well, you know, a bit vulnerable. It's like hard to talk about some of this stuff. But I think that's why we're here. Being on a fertility journey can be really challenging. It's not so easy for everyone to just get pregnant or to have a family. There can be many setbacks along the way, the uncertainty, the losses, the not knowing. But there's also a need for hope, for empathy, for kindness, for ways to cultivate strength and resilience. So many people go through fertility challenges and it's not talked about, it's not acknowledged. This shouldn't be a taboo conversation. I'm Eve, the Director of Teaching and one of the meditation and mindfulness teachers here at Headspace, which is very surreal, and I pinch myself every day that I get to help people learn about this practice, manage their anxiety and their stress. It has saved me. I mean, I came to meditation because of quite crippling anxiety and think I'll be working with all my life. So we're here at our recording studio because I am going to be recording the fertility meditations that I have written for this collection. I have to say it took a lot longer to write these because I too am going through all of this. My husband and I are on a fertility journey, which we've been on for a while, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been really fucking hard because we want a family. I think one of the hardest things about this whole process is, like many things in life, we don't know where this will end. And so sitting with that uncertainty, the not knowing, can be very challenging. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, let's go. I'm ready. So even though I teach meditation for a living, I've done years of training, it doesn't mean I have it all figured out. I wouldn't be doing this if I had it all sorted. I don't. I'm a human being. I have felt isolated. I have felt the uncertainty, the stress, the anxiety, the loss. And I know everyone's experiences will be different, nuanced. You know, I'm sharing some of my journey because I hope that it helps someone to not feel so alone. I myself have had to learn so much about my body that I'm maybe a little bit embarrassed to say I didn't necessarily know.
Girls are different, but sometime between the ages of 9 and 16, one very special event happens to every girl.
Growing up in school, sex education, reproduction, it's kind of brushed over. Maybe one science lesson or two at best, a couple of textbooks. I think there are a lot of societal pressures, particularly on women. Get married. And as soon as you're married, start trying for a family. You hear from doctors a lot, clock's ticking, don't leave it too long. That too suddenly can feel like a real burden, and it can also come from family members as well, grandparents especially. As soon as you start Googling, you feel like I'm failing on every level. I'm not taking these supplements. Should I take those supplements? Should I see an acupuncturist? Should I not? Then you have advice from other people, which is lovely that people show care and attention and they want to help. But sometimes it's just quite overwhelming. I mean, you look around and you see pregnant people, people with families, with kids, and you think, well, it can't be that hard, can it? And then when it's not happening and not happening, and then turns to what's wrong with me, what's wrong with my body, What am I doing wrong? Why me? That's then when the emotional challenges really start to make this process feel pretty awful at times, actually. I've had chats with lots of really good friends and with other people on this journey. There are some really universal themes that have come up. I am off to meet my friend Rosie, who is not only a dear friend, but a fellow meditation teacher here at Headspace. She too has been on a fertility journey. I know everyone's journey is so different and unique, but yet you might have the exact same goal or hope. And so I think it can be really helpful to speak to someone who can relate, who has some knowledge of what you're going through.
Ooh.
And we're going to walk uphill in this really cool day.
It's very chill today, very cool.
Yeah, it's got a cool breeze happening.
Without, we've talked about this before. We tried for many years and I kept hearing the same things, like people trying to negate your experience or say, oh, it's fine, it's gonna happen, don't worry.
It'll happen for you.
It'll happen. We kind of just got to this place where if we wanted to have children, it's gonna have to be through different means. I've accepted that, and it's hard when others can't.
Yeah. Nice to do this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I just love being around trees. I feel like I get a lot of nourishment from the sea. Especially when the blanket of clouds is there, it really feels like you're away.
Yeah.
And it's just good to clear your head and feel connected to your body, especially when it feels like everything's building and can be quite overwhelming. And I think it's just really healing, for me anyway.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. It's like the ultimate unplug.
I kind of wish we didn't have this fertility. I wish it was on something much more joyful.
I get it. But here's the thing, it's part of life, right? I mean, it really is.
That's when community becomes so important.
Yeah.
From your perspective, as a teacher, but also as a student, when we talk about listening to the mind and body, like, what does that mean for you?
Sometimes the only way to calm the mind is through the body, right? Yeah. Whatever stuck emotions may be there.
Because we suppress.
We definitely suppress. I remember there was a therapist I was working with once, and she said, what is not expressed is depressed. And I really loved that because it really made me see the importance of being able to express what is happening. Even if you can't articulate in words, you can utilize your body as a way to get things moving.
Yeah, and what have you found that has really helped you as you've navigated?
I noticed for me when I was going through the most difficult moments, I did need to set really strong boundaries with people and also spending time with my support system. I remember one time I called one of my friends to come over while I organized my closet, and she just sat there with me, and we just folded clothes and just talked about random things. And it was nice, and I hadn't had that nice...
Just normalcy.
Yeah, normalcy.
There is this shared connection when you realize someone else is experiencing this, and it's not like, oh, thank God you're going through it. Obviously, it's not that. It's, oh, you understand. You understand.
A moment in my life when I was going through something really, really challenging, and this woman was walking down the beach, she was like, shouldn't you be at school? Because I was young, right? And I was like, yeah, I didn't go today because I'm having a lot of problems. And she said, well, there's no problem that's bigger than that ocean. So you came to the right place.
Aww.
And that stayed with me, right? So it's like these moments where you're really reaching for some respite. But what can you do now? You can just meet this moment.
I think a really simple way to start to connect with your body is maybe even simply feeling your hands in the sand and the earth. Just notice what that feels like. Taking a nice big inhale and a nice slow exhale. It takes courage to remind yourself that, your body is doing the best that it can. And I think, can you hold that with compassion and tenderness and patience, that right now your body is doing the best that it can. My body is doing the best that it can.